The Galapagos Islands are a bucket list destination for many, off the coast of Ecuador. What do you think of when you think of the Galapagos? Is it volcanic plains? You would be right. Do you think of ocean? Vast, gorgeous ocean? Or do you think of snorkeling adventures with cool underwater creatures? You can swim with sea lions, sea turtles, and sharks. Yes, that is a Galapagos shark. Fun fact, the Galapagos has the marine iguana, the only iguana who swims and feeds in the ocean. They prefer to be on land and blend in well with the volcanic rock, but they have evolved such that their food source is the algae in the ocean. Maybe you think of Charles Darwin and his finches? Those are prominent here too. Finches would even try to join us for breakfast. But when you think of the Galapagos, you probably think of the tortoises. Because who can think about the Galapagos and not think of the tortoises? They move pretty slowly. They are everywhere. On tortoise farms, in the wild, and at the Charles Darwin Research Center. If you get too close to one, they hiss at you and retreat into their shell. Actually, I wish I could do that sometimes. Did you know that Charles Darwin actually went to the Galapagos to study geology? I mean, with landscapes like this, who could blame him? But then he saw the finches and discovered his theory of evolution. First, we spent a couple days in Quito, Ecuador. People usually spend a couple days in Ecuador. We chose Quito because they have some tourism that we wanted to see. But note that Quito is at an elevation of about 9,000 feet, so it can induce altitude sickness in some people. It's a beautiful country. Anyway, it's an hour-and-a-half flight, and we flew to the island of Baltra. There's a lot of transportation from there. You get on a bus, then a ferry to the main island, then a truck ride to the main town of Puerto Ayora. We stayed at a nice little bed and breakfast called the Maitanes Galapagos and explored the island during the day. We found a lot of cool places, like a display of outdoor ceramic art, the Charles Darwin Research Station, where there were Galapagos tortoises of all sizes, and a cute little local brewery. Cheers! Quick shout out to 1835 Coffee Lab, who has awesome coffee and the best hot chocolate. We also got a taxi to the Rancho Primicias, which is a giant tortoise reserve, and we stopped at the lava tunnels on the way for a little adventure. On our own, we took a walk to Tortuga Bay, which is a bit of a distance, but worth it to see the tons of cool marine iguanas outside in their natural habitat all at once. Oh, and the coolest thing is the fish market. The fishermen bring in their catches twice a day, and birds fly around. And sea lions come up to explore the food. While we were there, we booked a last-minute day trip on a speedboat to a nearby island, Pinzon. It's mostly a snorkeling trip where we swim with sea lions, we swam with schools of fish, we saw a shark, and even got a glimpse of a Galapagos penguin. The next day, we boarded a boat from the dock where, by the way, sea lions totally have the right of way. We got on our 6-day, 5-night cruise to the Western Islands. The cruise was a first-class cruise on a catamaran operated by gal agents, link below. When we stepped on board, I couldn't believe how clean and nice it was. See for yourself. The staff were amazing. And we also had 3 awesome meals per day with dessert. And sometimes we also even got snacks after our excursions. And you really could not beat the views from the top deck of the catamaran. On this trip, we had twice daily excursions between dinghy tours, snorkeling, and hiking. It was exhausting. Our tour guide Carlos explained everything to us that we were seeing and gave us nightly briefings about what adventures awaited us the next day. As the boat approached the equator line, we were called into the captain's area to see the latitude and longitude turn to 0 and received a celebratory drink. All in all, the Galapagos is a natural ecosystem where animals are protected and people care about protecting the environment. The Galapagos is a once-in-a-lifetime trip for many, and the friendly people, animals, landscapes, sea creatures, the views, the photos, and the experience definitely make it an adventure worth having.